Partners from Hewitt once in a while, and if you're playing that sort of stuff, you could.
Incredible skills, of course, to be able to do what he did and still play some good tennis. I wish, and I bet Todd Martin wishes he could relax a little bit like Noah on court.
Yes, my word, he's had his moments this year, hasn't he, Todd Martin? So, Boris up against Todd Martin, who has a winning record against him. Met first in Montreal 3 years ago. Martin won that 7-5, 7-6. Last year, indoors in Bercy, Becker won that 6-4, 4-6, 7-5. And then in the Grand Slam Cup later that year in Munich, Martin beat him in Becker's home country in 4 sets, 5-7, 6-3, 6-4, 7-6. So that'll encourage him. Becker, though, has been playing better and better as this week's gone on.
Yes, Becker really has been, as you say, improving. What's always been good is his mind. Big points, big games, and suddenly he just seems to dominate.
Becker's first round was against Mark Woodford. Beat him in 3 sets. Then Michael Stick, again a 3-set win, and then Mark Rosset in straight sets. Todd Martin beat Albert Costa 6-3, 6-2. Jason Stoltenberg 6-3, 6-4. And then last night lost the first set against Goran Ivanisevic, but in the end, as you see there, came through okay. 6-3, 6-3. 14 career titles to his credit, but just one this year. That was in Sydney, where he beat the man he beat last night, Ivanisevic, in the final.
Yes, he's a good indoor player, and I suppose really of the 4 semi-finalists, Martin would have to be rated the best returner. Becker not far behind him. Of course, where Becker is so good, as I've already mentioned, is on the big points, and it's perhaps then that he takes over from Martin as a good returner.
Yes, particularly noticeable against Stick, where, to be honest, it wasn't a great match, but as soon as the key points came up, it was invariably Boris who won them. Serve is obviously going to be crucial. Boris' serve was phenomenal last night against Mark Rosset, and Todd Martin's has been phenomenal all week. He's been the best server of anyone. His serve's only been broken the once by Goran, but he'll go some if he can match Boris last night. Individually, in one match, that was the best performance, and showed that he's moving towards the kind of place where he wants his tennis to be as he moves towards Hanover, where he will defend the World Championship he won last year in Frankfurt.
Should he make it, of course.
Should he make it. He's beginning to look likely. He's 12th in the running order. Top 8 make it through. He's 7 because he's defending all the points he won late on last year. So 12th, but he'll pick up another couple of 100 points here. He's 400 behind the 8th man. And he'll pick up 200 here. He's going to Ostrava with a wild card next week, so he's got a real chance. Todd Martin is 10th in that pecking order, ranked 13 but 10th, and he too has a chance. So much to play for here.
Oh, exactly. I think whenever particularly Martin plays anybody as big as this, isn't that great? You can see he's really got rapt attention, the kid, because he's not watching the personalities so much as the ball. That's certainly the way to learn.
So here's the announcement for Todd Martin, beginning with the defeat, which he wants to forget, against Mal Washington at Wimbledon.
Und in Indianapolis und Toronto jeweils im Semifinale. Seit dem Vorjahr ist der Präsident des Spielerrats der ATP. In diesem Semifinale kann man wieder folgen über den Spanier Costa, den Australier Stoltenberg und den als Nummer 2 gesetzten Kroaten Ivanisevic. Wir begrüßen die Nummer 13 der ATP-Computerweltrangliste und die Nummer 7 der ATP aus den USA.
Yes, from Ostrava they go to Stockholm and then to Paris and then on to Frankfurt. And there's plenty of time, and Boris is never panicked about time. Spent so much of this year out through injury.
Hier ist die Nummer 1 der EDP-Weltranglistenschaften und er gewann insgesamt 46 EDP-Titel im Einzel, den letzten davon heuer in Queens. Eine Handgelenksverletzung zwang ihn anschließend gerade in Wimbledon zur Aufgabe nach einer längeren Pause. Bei der Zerrgruppe startet er jetzt sein Comeback, kommt aber immer besser in Schwung und erreichte dieses Semifinale durch Erfolge über den Australier Woodford, seinen Landsmann Schick und den Schweizer Rosset. Wir begrüßen die Nummer 7 der EDP-Computerweltrangliste und die Nummer 5 der
Rudi Berger, a German in charge. But he won't be showing Boris any favouritism.
No, and telling us that Martin has won the spin of the coin and chosen to serve. Because Becker is comparatively new to Vienna. He's only played here once before, and that was, well, in the earlier part of the 80s rather than the later. So it's almost a new generation of people seeing him here. And thus the applause quite tremendous.
Good to see her smiling. Barbara Becker taking her usual place courtside. Yes, Becker here for the first time in 12 years, second round in '84. And Todd Martin here for the first time.
Been a superb field. Originally the cutoff was 37 until one or two people, including the likes of Tim Henman, dropped out, in which case I think it slipped to just in the 40s, about 41 or 42. But in other words, if you were ranked 43 in the world, you just couldn't get in.
The key guys obviously teeing themselves up for Hanover. So a lot at stake here. Martin to begin. There have been plenty of American winners of this tournament, dating back to the first in '74, Vitas Gerulaitis, the last American to win 2 years ago, Andre Agassi. And there's been a German winner too, Stick, in '91.
Martin, who served well, as Simon was saying, but half as many aces as Becker. 24 to Becker's 48 up until this stage. We saw somebody earlier on the week serve 4 successive net calls like this.
So no alarms despite the double fault in the opening game. And the American steps out into the lead. Hands, but it's going to take some time before he serves. Loads of people still coming back. Capacity crowd, and I think 3,000 or 4,000 of them were having a drink or something to eat while the warm-up and first game are going on. Now very nearly still. Love one. And that doesn't obey him for all the world as if it would go over.
Well, he's up against a very different package here in Todd Martin than Mark Rosset, against whom Becker was not broken. Rosset did have 2 break points in the first set, but couldn't manage either of them. But Martin's certainly stronger, although Rosset played far better on the backhands than I've seen him for some time. Martin, a superior double-handed return.
And nearly made it count there. Becker in only his 4th semi-final of the year. And of course in the Australian Open at the start, where it looked like it was the beginning of a glorious year for him, where he might indeed reclaim the #1 spot in the world. He won at Queen's too, and then after both the injuries set in. Was an ace because it just got the edge of the racket, Martin's, but they'll give it, so we will. Otherwise things will get awfully confusing. For 1 game each.
Yes, he's been pretty parsimonious with his double faults. At least he was in his quarterfinal against Rosset, just the 2, and when you consider how big a crack Becker gives the ball, that's quite a surprise, a pleasant surprise. Martin doesn't hold back too much on the second serve as well, and sometimes he'll serve them when he just throws it up a little, gets a little tight.
Shame, because he reacted well to the net cord and seemed to be moving well to the forehand.
Yes, just recognizing there himself that he didn't have the snap on the forehand volley. Nice control by Becker there on the half volley. Nice feel. Martin having to readjust his sights after a three-setter against a left-hander in Ivanisevic. Doesn't take him long, though.
Second ace for Martin. As Boris is used to playing giants, as you say, there are not too many similarities between Rosset and Martin, but they do have height in common. Rosset 6'7", Martin 6'6". In the second round, it was Michael Stick, who at 6'4" was a comparative midget. So once again, that's been the story of the week. Serve is going to be absolutely at a premium here, and if anyone can get a break, they're a racing certainty to take the set. Martin is who leads at the moment, 2 games. Go back with us in Vienna, second semi-final. Becker is 1-2 against Todd Martin, and fires down ace number 2. So he's now over the 50 mark for the week.
We had an amusing episode yesterday when Rosset had served 3 aces in succession against Becker. Becker stood way, way out of court and just allowed him to get a full house, or 4 of a kind, rather.
The worrying thing for Martin is that Becker seems to have quickly found the rhythm he finished with last night, and it was almost unstoppable, wasn't it?
Yeah, it's a brute of a serve, no doubt, when it's firing so well. It was part of Becker's problem through that dry period. His serve really went off the boil.
Yes, whether it's first or second, it's really damaging. So return of serve is going to be crucial. A couple of heavy hit returns causing problems might well win the set here, the way this has started. Two doubles each. Well, that low camera showed you the bounce it got on a fairly low bouncing court.
Yes, I suppose if anybody's going to get a bit of bounce, it'll be Martin from that giddy height. But it isn't a pitch that takes a lot of spin, unless it's sliced spin.
Yes, Becker had the idea there, but just couldn't time it.
Yeah, Martin not averse to indoor play. Becker, of course, one of the great records of all time indoors. Martin, 4 times a finalist in Memphis, twice winning it. So no doubt where one of his favorite cities is, along the Mississippi.
Yes, he's never got to the ATP World Championships before. And, you have a feeling that if he did, he might do quite well there. So 5 games with serve. T.Martin who leads. So that's the situation in the second semi-final. Already through. Jan Simmerink, who early on today beat Arnaud Birch of France in straight sets. Mostly serves in the high 180s. That was 188. Just occasionally he breaks the 190 mark, but not the 200.
Yes, against that sort of power, I think you've really got to, if you can aim at all, you haven't got much time to. You've really got to aim, I believe, for the middle of the court. Just give yourself as big a target as you possibly can. And in fact, he wasn't too far off the middle here. You just got to accept that the volley's going to come back and then hope to smack it home on the next shot. Because to be actually aiming this speed is really tricky.
Yes, Boris apologizing and not aimed that deep anyway.
Rather painful LBW. A little bit higher.
But Becker just looks unstoppable on serve, and if ever a match looked destined for a tiebreak, it's this one.
Bound to be famous last words.
Yes. But you can't see a break coming, can you?
No, as you say, it's got to start on the first point of the game, double fault or just a blinding return, and it is blinding because you've got to stick your hand, well, you've got to close your eyes and swing.
Yes, the thought of playing the great Boris indoors doesn't worry Todd. Those wins last year in Paris and in Munich were put paid to that. Sometimes, as we saw at Wimbledon, certain situations in matches phase him. Lovely shot. The crowd murmuring rather unfairly about Martin's shot, which they thought was long, but no doubt about the outcome. Well played, Boris. Good return. And a simple pass.
Well, I'm not sure what Martin thought of, but you wouldn't have thought he could lose sight of the fact that Becker was actually coming into the net behind this, and yet he still tried the drop volley. As you can see, Becker could almost have smashed it.
Cultured play.
Yes, and the difference between the forehand volley here and the one earlier is that he had time just to get around behind it. It was long, long stretch. Most of us would have had to have made 3 movements, but not Martin. Just a long left leg across.
Still no worries for either man on serve. 7 games with serve and getting them so far. As Todd Martin's coach Dean Goldfine, pretty pleased with the way that Todd started so far. But, to get something going on Boris's serve. New balls. 3-4. He's got the weight of shot that once he gets him on the run, he can keep him there.
Well, only the 3rd point he's lost in his serve, Becker, and primarily because the second serve started it all off. Just a very short one, surprisingly short. Perhaps keen not to double fault. He's kept those down to a minimum virtually. And with the new balls, just determined to keep it in. It's not like him.
That meaty forehand paying dividends again. So now then, love 30. Oh. Well, why did he leave it? Did he just think he got no chance? Because it was, what, a yard in?
It was so well in. Incredible. He obviously lost his bearings. Terrific return, though.
Well, we said one scorching return might set it up. It set up 3 break points for Martin. What a shot from Becker.
You've got to be pretty confident of your skills at lob volleying when you're playing somebody who's 6'6" tall with a racket in his hand. And it was run, rabbit, run after that.
Break point number 2. Yes. He had to miss it, otherwise it was Becker's point.
That would have been a let.
But He's got the return and he's got the break. So completely different complexion. Out of nowhere, Boris just loses the rhythm on the serve. Good returns from Martin. And can he see it through now to take the set? So often in matches between big servers, one break is followed by another. Can Martin stand as tall as he is right now? And there's Boris's best return so far. It's uncanny.
Little turning of the head there by Becker. Why didn't he quite have the resolve in the last game? Second time she's seen Martin bully her husband with that one right at the body. Quite a big target, mind you, to aim at.
Yes. That shot not good enough. Boris really testing him and then smacked.
Yes, there was no way of knowing which way Becker would hit that, because he got there with time to spare.
A really clever volley from Martin. Just did enough.
Not only clever, but also the sort of situation where Martin might really have got the wobbles. And it was as firm can be.
But perhaps a little wobble there. Third double. And sure enough, it's breakpoint Becker. His first. Well, this proves he didn't make the net. Very lucky indeed is Todd to get away with that.
Yes, because Becker didn't hold back at all. This was a winning forehand. It may not have been a clean winner, but Martin would have been really pressed. He could only play it a one-hander, ready to guide it back. The Vienna boys choir here.
Martin then escapes the break point and now has set point after his third ace. Very relieved. Strong stuff from Martin. Screams from the German. Well, they came to support Boris Becker, but there's the man in the lead at the moment, Todd Martin. So Becker's going to have to start again.
Well, Becker was really berating himself with some loud screams at the end of the last game, and at least he's not blind with his own rage. That was not a bad return.
Yes, he was very well controlled, or very controlled, shall we say, against Stick. Letting it rip a little bit against Rosset, and signs of it there as well.
Hoping we'd see that again, because it was really hit from the hip. Didn't take the racket far back.
Fourth ace. Yeah, he's fancying the job now, Martin. And suddenly this is looking a much more difficult game for the Becker camp.
Yes, one saw the gesture of despair with that late call, and of course against big servers you need every call you can possibly get. But lovely inside-out forehand. Martin very often will hit those a lot flatter.
That's all.
Well played, what a rally. Defiance again from Becker, and it had to be. Martin making all the moves now.
Well, you can see the big red labels across this point, marked urgent.
Yes, prodigious length from Becker. Important game. Martin threatening a second break then, but it's Becker who leads 1-love. 5 points more for Martin at the moment. But all the rest of the stats pretty much together. Got a feeling that Martin's playing better and better, and Boris has got to raise his game another notch if he's to overcome him.
Yes, which could be rather tasty to set before the king. Martin more winners and Becker more losers.
Love one, just one break separates them. In the 8th game of the first set. Good stuff. Incidentally, you just come in. Congratulations to Greg Rosetsky, who in Beijing has reached the final. It's been quite a week for Greg. He broke his own world record. He held jointly on the fastest ever serve. And he's beaten Baron Black to get through to the final. Plays Martin Dam tomorrow.
Yes, it sounds like a fast surface that in Beijing. This one here is pretty quick as well. Low bounce. Although, as we've seen, Martin manages to get it up a bit. With a Joel Garner, I suppose.
Yes. Yes, you can go into the press conference and ask Boris, was it like receiving Joel Garner?
T.Martin.
And I really believe that that's actually quite important, because two backhands there. Becker was looking to play them fairly flat, and they got up just a fraction, even if it's only a couple of inches higher, which Martin is able to get out of this court because of his height.
Boris needs a comfortable service game right now to make him feel better about the way things are going. Well, it hung for an age, but it was all right. Fifth ace.
Yes, those are the ones you've really got to be philosophical about. But the first service point was a terrific return by Martin. He's got to take encouragement from that. Sometimes it works the other way, though. You make a good return, the opponent comes up with a better answer, and you feel the worse off for it.
So already he's doubled his aces count in the second set from the entire first. 7 aces now, and that's much more sucker for Barbara and Boris. Finished the change run and then closed the zip on his case like someone was going to go down to the court and rumble around in it, nick things out of it. I don't think it's very likely, but
could be temperature controlled.
Okay, thank you, Drew. More likely that than what I said. 1-2. Fourth ace from Martin.
Yes, Martin not quite so finicky, but I've also noticed that Becker has just about everything there is in polythene. The rackets come out of polythene, the wristlets do.
A worrying shot for Boris. Why?
Yes, just coming under it a bit. Again, the lift seeming to disturb him a bit, and that shouldn't be the case on a straightforward backhand from Martin. What Martin is doing, as I said earlier, is really getting inside his shots rather nicely, and there's a lot more control on the Martin. But Martin, we know, can lose it, and Becker too, we know, can gain it.
Oh, yes. Well, Martin did so well to reach right down and somehow dig that half volley up, and what reward he got for doing so.
Yes, I think that's brought him back off the rocks, Becker.
Crowd sensing that something might be about to happen. Yes. Another scorcher. Yeah, that's how he did it. Just like that.
Yes, you don't want to deny Becker the thrill of saying that this was a fantastic shot, but Martin's volley really very, very short. Slightly tense, but all credit to Becker.
So 30 love and 3 fantastic points for Boris, who now has break point. Well, I thought he might have been falling on his wrist, which would be the worst possible scenario. Remember Michael Stick here last year. Excellent second serve, though.
This is going to be good to watch. Does he want it? I think just a little bit, Becker.
Again, gutsy stuff from the big man. The bigger man, there's big man.
What's he falling on? Well, he's certainly sweating it up, which is what they're busy doing, drying it now. But it's a thin plastic carpet type material laid on wood, so at least it's not cement under there.
Trying to make a point that his feet got stuck there before he leapt. He never recalled that one down there. 5 aces now to Martin. Nerves of steel, because that was a quite marvellous game from Becker, and he couldn't win it.
It was brave play by Martin, not only the aces, but again on this backhand side. Isn't he hitting it well? Look how he stays with it there. The racket face open all the way through it.
Two games each. Too good. Again, the backhand having been softened up. Boris just giving the baseline judge an old-fashioned look, but I think it was all right.
Such an effective shot, that backhand down the line. Gets there so much more quickly than the one cross-court. Well, the serve softened him up, but still good hard volley, but importantly with angle. That's where Martin sometimes makes his errors, doesn't quite get the angle.
The brutish serving beginning to return. 8 aces now, 5 already in this set. But he was short. Not many others were.
Well, he'd given the linesman a talking to on the previous one, so he knew that even if it was in, it was going to be called out.
I'm glad you don't believe that, sir. Ooh. Close one. That wasn't any closer. Only his second double. Big stuff. 9th ace. The match improving all the time. It's Becker. Big men locked in battle here with serve so far. Just one break of serve so far. And with it, Martin finished the first set. Trails in the second, 2-3. Yeah. It's got to be almost out of this world, but under the screen.
Yes, just about. Martin practicing his serve before this. It seemed to me he was just reminding himself, telling Becker he's got to hit it that much higher over his head. He seemed to be telling himself just to use a bit more wrist on the serve. Record this week is 4 of those in succession.
Sorry that you have lost the feed back home, but we'll continue radio style at the moment. Becker taking the point, and now you've re-established contact, I understand. Nope, still got problems. It's 15 all. Remember, it's Becker 3-2 at the moment, so Martin stepping up to serve. First serve is out wide. And you're back with us hopefully for a little bit longer. Oh, yes. Looked like he could do it in his sleep, but it was an important shot.
Martin's looked so good off the ground. So much more control on so many of his shots. And that, with the speed of the court, almost played as a half volley, even though the bounce was quite a long way in front of him.
The magic of his returns of the last Martin service game, temporarily at least, have gone. Boris struggling now to get anything going. It's okay. Boris not over enamoured with the call.
Yes, I think partly the call and perhaps more incredibly the way Martin played that shot. Doesn't normally have that sort of flexibility.
He looked like a stretched Edberg, didn't he, the way he played that? Three all then. That's one way of leaving them. Second shot was a bit mistimed, and Martin did have a chance.
Yes, the obvious shot, wasn't it? It was down the line. Played it half as well, he'd have won the point.
It's an enormous shot, that double-hander, isn't it?
It seemed straightforward perhaps, but it really kept low as well, so it had speed and then it sank.
Yeah. Promising return and then finishing it off again in style.
Just beautiful timing here from Martin. Nice rhythm he kept on it. Bullet.
Crowd sensing that this is an important point for Boris. Martin beginning to latch on to his serve. Well, not superbly directed, but it turned out a brilliant reply.
Yes, and he's just a little too far back from the net when he went to play it, but really it was probably his best option anyway. Martin read the serve well.
So from 40 love, deuce. It's the big serve now. And he'll be disappointed he couldn't get that down.
I suppose a comparatively bad miss, only because he's been playing so well. One he should really come closer to making.
Martin just took the foot off the accelerator after doing so well, and Becker survives that game, but he didn't look all that impressive in doing so. But he's edged out in front once more. So the ball in play for only 7 minutes seems bizarre. But pretty hard hit for those 7 minutes. Just one break of serve. Martin, the winner in Sydney this year, and finalist beaten by Sampras in Memphis, going for his third final. Two going for his third. He's won his 2 finals so far.
Well, Becker standing like a Greek urn with one of its arms broken. I think at some stage he's going to start bowing to Martin if he keeps on playing like this. Net cords don't phase him. Perhaps only he himself can phase him.
Again, he just kicks up. You know, he thinks it's long. Couldn't really see it. The net cord just interrupts our view of the service line.
Yes, that's very true. I must admit I felt long, and it actually almost marked down a double fault.
Yeah. Means so much to Boris. If you just tuned in, he needs to keep winning to make it to Hanover. So not just victory here and tomorrow, but working all the time to make it through as one of the 8 into the ATP World Championship, which he won. A little hush here. People hoping that Boris can lift his game no more than she, but you see the mind transference working through. Can you pick up the signals?
I'm trying to get onto the wavelength. It's difficult.
4-5. Blasted net again. Get it changed, Boris. Come on. You've got influence here or what?
If somebody else you'd figure, well, they might just say, yeah, it's not my day. You know, with Becker, that's not the case. Sometimes with Martin it's a matter over mind, but with Becker it usually is the reverse.
But you don't feel that today, do you, with Martin? I didn't at Wimbledon until it happened. doubles player. Even the throat ball.
Well, he hit him once on the leg, and he almost got him again there in the solar plexus.
Becker 2 points in the set. It's a knowledgeable crowd here. They know that Martin's prone to self-doubt. Can they work on him? The return did the trick. And right now, Becker's got set point. Right decision. Why be brave?
Well, you can only be thinking that it was a flashlight, perhaps. But really, he couldn't have done much more. Wonderful control by Martin to shove on the brakes when he did, because if he'd played it on the half volley, he was dead.
Yes, another lifter. Boris would have probably been aiming at him again.
So thrown up just a little low.
Well, that's as noisy as I've seen Martin, but he wanted to counter the noise that's been against him. What a pass.
Yes, it's not luck, because Martin's been doing it all day long, but if I were him, I'd buy every lottery ticket I could lay my hands on.
There's something glinting. I don't think it's flash. Just caught something glinting behind Martin, which is distracting Boris. My German's not good enough to know what he said. I think something like, get the offending person out of the house. Good return. Oh, brilliant. Those competitive juices are really swirling around now. Second set point. Oh. Well, Martin holds his arms up, but he must be feeling agony. How on earth can he miss a volley like that?
Well, the error, of course, was on the first volley, the forehand, where he thought he had plenty of court. He did, but he couldn't hit it, and couldn't afford to hit it that slowly. And the arms up, of course, was sardonic, because all the applause is for Becker.
Maybe there's been a bit of applause just before he played the last shot. It's definitely a moment of frailty, and Boris seized on him. Deciding set then. Becker playing now as well as at any stage in the match.
Not many players who start near the line and then come back away from the line. It's usually the reverse. Although Martin has his foot close to it and keeps it there. And most players, of course, are well anchored. Jan Simmerink, I suppose, amongst the players here, has the biggest step in town.
Martin's played extraordinarily well in this match, but it's a rampant Becker now, and it's going to be so tough for the American to hold him. Almost impossible. If he wins it, it'll be one of the wins of his career. Becker and the crowd sense victory now. But there's a lot of work to be done before he can clinch it. It's 1-love in the third set. T.Martin going through it. And the crowd really beginning to enjoy themselves. Do you share my view through that it's going to be mighty tough from Martin from now on in?
Oh, yeah. He's got to keep up the form he's got and play even better.
Yeah. Becker wounded by his own shot.
Sometimes there's a feeling of flatness about some of the balls. They have had problems with them here from time to time, but that would have been picked up immediately by the players had there been something wrong with that last one. It may just be the acoustics.
To Palmer, his coach.
Pretty good player back in his own day. Would have been ranked probably 50, 60 in the world, I imagine.
Strong serving from Martin. But he knows now that if he falters, Becker's going to be right onto his case. So a set each, and now a game each.
Yes, the sort of things, of course, that could ignite Martin, and just a couple of blinding returns. Racket face in the right time, meeting the Becker speed.
He's crunching that off-hit forehand.
Oh, that's the forehand, of course, that could have turned that first set. Big one where Becker hit the top of the net.
Oh. Well, the rhythm is rock solid at the moment. And Martin's troubles increase. 14 aces now to Becker, and it's 2-1. Becker. Some of the youngsters who've been drawn to the sport, mainly thanks to his efforts all over Europe. Martin isn't exactly the enemy, but they don't want him to win. Good bloke though he is. 1-2. So sweetly timed. Again, seeing the ball so well, Martin on the move.
Needs the first serve now. Put the smile back on the face.
Well, that thought transference was working. 6 days.
Don't you have me believing in a short hit.
Oh, it's all going his way.
Except that Martin doesn't think so. But I think he may have got just a bit of the outside of the line.
Yes, he did, but it was so lucky. But now, 2 break points. Could he possibly come back from this? Becker has lost matches in this situation, a break up in the 3rd set before, but not many. Even fewer So close to home.
Well, it's not easy for Martin, but at least now that he's behind, the nerve should have left him. It's just what damaged memory does, though. Whether he's too bruised. Not that it's been anything like Wimbledon at all. Just the one volley. Playing so well.
And Becker's looking the genuine article.
Yes, playing really within himself now, that first service point apart.
2 points for 4-1. Yes. Ace number 15. Becker's won 6 of the last 7 games. And almost for sure is on his way to the final here. 4-1. Moves to the net from either man. Same sort of success. But the greater success has been in the return. Becker's 2 in that last game. Well, Martin's last service game seemed to have done the trick. 4-1. He's only at 1 break up in this deciding set, but it seems a long way.
That's all.
Well, Martin can't do anything right. Becker was dead and buried 3 times in the rally.
Yes, I think really it's not like you to even underestimate Becker, but I think Martin's doing a lot right. It's just Becker who, the one shot he pulled off there, the forehand where he was going the wrong way, that was muscle at its best.
Well, this is almost as good as it gets.
It's a bit like playing against the old Berlin Wall at the moment. You hit it hard and it comes back at you. Oh.
And Martin beginning to look like a shot fighter. He's given absolutely everything and to a very high degree, but now he's being slugged all over the place. And Becker eyeing him up for the knockout.
That's all.
Well played. Fourth double. Becker's won 7 of the last 8 games, and it's turned out to be an unequal contest. And it all dates from that one volley at the end of the second set. Since then, Becker's just jumped all over him.
Yeah, it's stunning, all right. How you can be playing so well 1 minute, and the next minute not playing at all. It's not as if he's playing badly. He's just not playing enough, not getting enough shots to hit.
Oh, wonderful. There was the 17-year-old Becker. And a year ago, there were people saying this guy's lost his appetite for the game.
Well, they didn't know Rosetsky and Johansson were going to let him off the hook at the Australian Open, and they didn't know that he was going to firstly break his arm against Neville Godwin at Wimbledon. That'll whet the appetite. Martin sees the funny side.
Well, it's an occasion when he misses one. But the way he's playing at the moment, through, and the quickness with which he's come back from his injury, there's every reason to believe he will make it to Hanover, and that he might win there.
Oh yeah, I mean, this is irresistible stuff. And I think that appetite, that hunger is very, very important at this stage. Most players feel a little bit burnt out.
So many times the guys coming back from injury this year have been the ones doing the business.
No French, no US Open.
Yeah. Well, 4,000 people blew it out from this end, and they did the trick.
It's a beautiful shot from Martin. He really stayed with it. Not often you'll see a Rosewallian lob like this, going up and up and up all the time. No way the Becker could ever get to it.
$15.30. Yes. Martin draws the fifth back. Fantastic play. 2 break back points.
Well, even should Becker get out of this, at least Martin will be able to walk off the court and say that he was fighting, standing tall even at the end.
Well, neither player reckons it was in, but Becker understandably is going to go with it. Martin is not going to make a fuss. 16th ace. And 2 break points have been saved. So break point again, well read and well executed. And it was. And strong applause for Martin for keeping with this match when it looked out of his control. I can't think it's going to alter the result though. 5-2. Todd Martin serving to stay in the match. 2-5. Fifth double.
Yes, you'd think if you're that tall, you don't have to throw the ball up high, but of course you've got to throw it up high enough for your arm and your racket, no matter what height you are.
Oh, here we go again. I don't know about thought transferences from Barbara, but he's getting the thought transferences from Todd. Nothing Martin does is surprising Becker. And again, he reads him perfectly. And here are 3 match points. It's been a simply phenomenal third set. Still there.
Bitte.
Strong serve. Third match point.
It's one of the few times Becker's actually looked human.
Bitte.
super that should finish that way, and not on an error. A set of the very highest class from Boris Becker. And he takes it running away. A fantastic performance. Becker at his best. And Boris is back in no uncertain fashion.
Yes, as you say, Becker really at his very best. I thought Martin played one of the best matches I'd seen him play for a while. The nearest he came was at the set-up and 3-all juice on Becker's serve. But from then on, there was only one man in the picture.
So it's Jan Simmerink of Holland against Boris Becker of Germany. Coming next, the Under-23 World Cycling Championships. And we'll be back tomorrow for the final. Hope you can join Prue McMillan and myself, Simon Reed, for that. Cycling then follows the news centre with Gareth Evans. Hope to see you tomorrow for Simmerink against Boris Becker.